Hi everyone, today we're going to do a short practice to get us moving. So let's start right away in downward facing dog. So coming forwards, placing your hands about shoulder distance apart, let's tuck our toes and bring the hips up and back and just move around a little bit in your first downward facing dog. If you want to just check the distance between your hands and your feet, let's come forwards into plank pose so our shoulders are right over our wrists. Got a straight line from our heels to the top of our head. And then go ahead and lift your hips up and back again. And you should find that perfect spot, perfect distance between hands and feet for downward dog. So again, let's move around a little bit, bending one knee, pressing the opposite heel towards the ground. Don't worry too much about whether it touches the ground or not. Think more about having a nice straight line from your wrist all the way up your arm through your back towards your hips. Inhale, let's come forwards into plank pose again. This time we're going to pause and breathe in downward dog. So we'll just fire up those core muscles. So making sure that we're not letting our hips sag down. So pulling them up, tucking the tailbone, breathing one more breath. Inhale. And then exhale, let's go ahead and lower the knees, chest, and chin. We're going to squeeze our elbows in. Inhale, glide into a nice cobra, bhujangasana. Point your toes back. And then push back, seat to heels, tuck your toes. Let's lift up into downward facing dog pose again. Let your head hang. Maybe you shake it out a little bit. If you have any tension in your neck, try to release it. As we're moving through the postures, let's remember to breathe a nice deep inhale and exhale. Ideally, we're breathing through the nose. One more, inhale and exhale. Let's come back into plank pose again. This time we're going to set up for Chaturanga Dandasana, so option to lower the knees if you need to. We're going to shift the weight forward, bend the elbows, squeeze them in, so we're just going to the height of the elbows, and then we're going to transition to up dog, where we press into our feet so our knees and our thighs lift off the mat. Downward dog, let's use those core muscles to pull us up and back. And this time from downward dog, we're just going to walk our feet forwards and bring our feet between our hands. Let's fold over the legs, deep fold. Maybe you need to bend the knees a little bit. Inhale, rise all the way. Stretch up, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart, Samastitihi. So inhale, raise your arms up, reach up. Exhale, folding forwards. Doing a couple sun salutations. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look ahead. Let's step into plank pose. Full chaturanga, or you can modify with the knees, chest, chin. Upward facing dog or cobra. And then downward facing dog pose. This time in downward dog, we're going to raise the right leg up and back. Press into your hands, inhale. Exhale, bring your knee towards your right elbow as you shift into a plank. Inhale, stretch your right leg up and back. Exhale, bring your knee to your left elbow. Inhale, stretch your right leg up and back. We're going to exhale, bring our knee to our chest. Pause for a moment, and then step your right foot between your hands. Setting up for a high lunge. Let's come up, bring our hands to our hips for starters. Find our balance. We're going to bend the back knee a little, tuck the tailbone, square off the hips, and then extend the back leg. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, relax your shoulders down. Option to bring your hands together if that feels good. You can interlace your fingers, point your index finger straight up. Inhale here. If there's room to create a small back bend, do that in your upper back so that you're not bending so much in your lower back and causing tension. Instead, you're lifting it up to your upper back, like you're lifting your chest, your heart towards the ceiling. One more breath, inhale. Exhale your hands to the mat. We're going to move through a flow, but feel free to move straight to downward dog, otherwise chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Inhale, raise your left leg up. Exhale, bring your knee to your left elbow. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over wrists. Step your left foot between your hands. So notice I'm not lining my feet up one right in front of the other. Instead, it's like your feet are on skis. So there's a little space. Bend the back knee, tuck the tailbone, square off the hips, and then extend the leg again. Let's raise our arms. Make sure the shoulders don't lift. Drop the shoulders down. Option to interlace the fingers. Point the index finger straight up. Inhale. Exhale. Gazing up and back. So just a small back bend to begin with. Let's bend the front knee a little bit more, get a little deeper into it. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. We'll move through a flow. Again, feel free to skip the flows when needed. Chaturanga, upward dog, and downward facing dog. And we'll pause and breathe here. Try to line up, again, from wrists all the way up to the hips. So most of us have the tendency to round in our backs. If that's the case, let's bend our knees. Try to get that straight line. Those of you who are a little more flexy, you got to remember not to overarch in your spine. Instead, draw these low ribs in. So you're kind of tucking it all in here. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look ahead. Jump or walk forwards, inhale. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, Samastitihi. Let's bend the knees, touch the fingers to the ground. Inhale, reach up for Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold forwards, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step or jump to Chaturanga. Inhale into your up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to turn the left toes out, step the right foot forward. So we'll try to do this with one breath, inhaling up and exhaling back down. Hands down, right foot back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right toes out, left foot forwards. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. And then pausing to breathe in downward dog. Trying to find that nice, even rhythm in your breath. We'll add a little variation here. So let's inhale in back into plank pose. We're going to lower the right knee down, drop the left heel in, coming into a variation on side plank. So raising your left arm straight up towards the sky. First variation will stay there. Second variation, we're going to slide the right leg underneath the left leg. So the feet are stacked, the legs are stacked. Straight line from right arm to left, gazing up, inhale. Exhale, release, coming plank, and lower your left knee down. Drop your right heel in. So you're turning towards the right side, raise your right arm up. First variation, we're gonna stay here. Second variation, we're gonna slide left leg under right, flex the feet, gazing up, inhale. And exhale, gently release. Lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, seat to heels. Tuck your toes. Let's come into downward facing dog pose. Okay, we'll move through our first sequence. Left toes out, right foot forwards. So Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, inhale. Warrior 2 on the exhale, so you're gonna open up your hips and open up your arms. We're going to pause in Warrior 2, so just making sure your knee is right above your ankle, left leg extended, shoulders over hips. So we're not leaning to the right side, we're nice and stacked. Gaze over your right shoulder, breathing here. Maybe we could find a little more space in the hips if we lower a bit further. Those of you who have knee issues or ankle issues, try lifting your toes up I find that helps with my arches. If I really lift the toes, spread them out, maybe try to put my little toe and big toe down. One more breath. Inhale, straighten your right leg, getting ready for Trikonasana. So right hip pulls back. As we stretch to the right side, we can lower the right hand maybe to the shin or a block if you have one, or a book. You can bring your hand down to the floor as long as you're not sort of leaning out of the pose. You want to keep your upper body in line with your legs. So drawing your torso back usually and gazing up to the left hand. Keep that breath going. Hopefully your body is starting to feel a little more warm now, a little looser. We're going to be moving into half moon pose in a moment. So just getting the mindset for balancing. Let's bring our left hand to our left hip. We're going to bend the right knee, and you can move your left foot in a little closer before you come up into half moon. Place your right hand a little further forward than your right foot. Ideally line up that little toe with your thumb. And then if it feels comfortable, you feel pretty balanced today, raise your left arm up. So we've got right foot and right hand on the floor, left arm raised and left leg extended back behind us. Can we hold it for just a little bit longer? And then can we gracefully step back into Warrior Two? We'll windmill the hands to the front of the mat, step into our plank, move through our flow. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, right toes out, left foot forwards. Inhale, rise up, Warrior One. Exhale, Warrior Two. So just pausing here again, line up shoulders over hips so we're not being pulled to the left or nice and stacked. And then deep bend in the left knee, deep extension through the right leg. Good, let's maybe consider lifting the toes up again. I know it sounds tricky, and it is, but you can spread out your toes, put your little toe and your big toe down if you want to work on strengthening the arches of your feet. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. And then inhale, extend your left leg. Draw your left hip back. And then reach out to the left side as far as you can before lowering your left hand either to your shin, to the block, or the floor. Tendency is to kind of fall forwards. So draw your upper body back. Yeah, try not to let your head hang either. Keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. And ideally gaze up. Keep that breath moving. Okay, let's get ready for half moon. So right hand to right hip. Bend your left knee, and then just hop your right foot a little closer before putting your left hand down. Let's lift the right leg, extend your right leg, and maybe extending your right arm if you can. Ideally, we look up at the right hand, and we sort of stack the shoulder, right shoulder on top of left, right hip on top of left. Yeah, so try to think about lifting in this pose rather than sort of leaning on the left hand. Instead, lift the right arm and lift the right leg. All right, let's find that graceful step back to our Warrior Two. And then let's windmill our hands to the front and move through our flow. So plank, chaturanga, upward dog, and downward facing dog pose. Whew, that feels good. Let's jump through to a seated position or just cross your ankles and sit yourself down. Yeah? All right, let's take Paschimottanasana. So sitting tall on your sit bones. Or if you feel like you're rounding, sit on a block or a cushion. Inhale, stretch up. And then exhale, fold forwards. Remember, we're trying not to fold in our backs, trying to fold right in the hip. So we're reaching as far as we can. Maybe you have a belt or a strap you use around the bottom of your feet. Or if you can grab your feet, just try to flatten them out. So if you're like me, you need to kind of pull the sides back. Yeah? Each inhale, let's think length. Each exhale, let's think about folding a little deeper. Watch those shoulders don't bunch up. Let's just roll them back. A few more breaths. Really trying to release those hamstrings, which have a tendency to tighten up pretty quickly. And if you really feel like when you're doing this that your back is rounding, it feels impossible not to round your back, you do the same pose but lying on your back with your legs straight up so that you're still in that L shape. But that way your back is guaranteed to stay flat. Let's bend the knees and come up. We're going to take Navasana boat pose. So you'll be right in the middle of your mat somewhere, just behind your sit bones, in front of your tailbone. Lift your feet up. Roll your shoulders back and lift your chest up. So like a very proud chest. First variation, stay with the hands under the knees. Second variation, we're going to extend the arms. Third variation, we're going to extend the legs. So we're going to push into the balls of the feet and see if we can straighten out our legs. So we're stretching from deep in the core all the way up through the legs. Breathing here, 3 more breaths. Maybe you got the shakes a little bit, that's okay. Breathe through it. Good, 1 more inhale. If you want to exhale and slowly lower yourself down, move through that shaky bit, and we're going to come all the way onto our backs. All right, so on our backs, we're going to bend our knees, place our feet hip distance apart, getting ready for bridge pose. So if you have a block or a cushion, you can put it between your knees. Otherwise, just try not to let the knees separate, keep them as wide as the hips. Let's tuck the tailbone down, so like you're trying to get rid of that space underneath your back. That way you engage those core muscles. From there, you're gonna lift your tailbone, start to lift your lower back, middle back, and upper back. And then once you're as high as you can go, you're gonna bring your hands together underneath your back. Okay, so while you're up there, your chest is going up towards your chin. 1 more breath. Gently release your hands and then lower yourself down like you're imprinting your spine on the mat, so nice and slow. Come all the way down with your hips and then bring the bottoms of your feet together, your knees out to the side, so you're in reclined Baddha Konasana. Take your arms overhead and reach. Maybe put one forearm on top of the other one. Okay, and then gently take your arms alongside your body, bring your knees back together. And just bring your legs straight up towards the ceiling. So this is kind of like what I was talking about when we were in our seated forward bend. I was saying you could do the same pose lying on your back with a strap around your feet. We can also just do with the legs straight up and not so much of effort to stretch our hamstrings, more just relaxing on our backs for just a kind of gentle inversion. So you can do this with your legs up against the wall or against the couch. Or I just like to do it in the middle of the room. It's also nice to kind of cactus your arms. That feels good. And close your eyes. And gently bend the knees. Place the feet on the mat. Take the arms alongside the body. I'm going to take a short shavasana, so just stretching out your legs. Palms facing the sky. Pull your shoulders down. Close your eyes. And try to relax all the muscles in your body. You could take a deep breath or two to try to slow yourself down even more if that helps, or if there's any tension left, then breathe into that area that feels tense. And then letting go of anything that's holding you back from experiencing peace in this moment. Slowly start to bring your awareness back. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch out your arms and legs. And then draw your knees into your chest and roll to the right side. You're going to gently come back up to seated. And close your eyes. Take your hands together in prayer pose. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for this short sequence. I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you again on the mat soon. Bye.